On behalf of Govardhan Eco-Village community, we are sincerely honored and grateful that you chose to spend this time. Thank you, Arti and Anmol and Priya Chaitanya. And who else is staff? Imai Leela Prabhu's here. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Yeah, he's taking a class for GEV guests, so he'll be joining us shortly. We also had Chaitanya Charan Prabhu as a faculty for this batch as well.
The second level means they are being certified to be teachers
Yes, Maharaj.
for the next level.
They have deepened their knowledge. They are still certified even with 200 hours, but with 300 they have intensified their own practice. At the same time have learned different skills on even spreading the knowledge.
Perhaps the greatest need of today, and in truth for all times, past, present, future, is exemplary leaders. Yad yadachurati srestas. Bhagavad Gita tells that the example that leaders exhibit is very much what will transform the world. And that principle in giving we receive, it's not only true, but it's a sacred principle. It's the idea of dharma, and especially at the heart of bhakti. In giving, we receive. And the more we become enlightened, purified, we don't give to receive, but we receive to give. And knowing if we give more, we'll receive so that we can give more. And then we receive so that we can give more. And this is the idea of seva, or service. In an ordinary sense, service is to serve. But the Sanskrit word seva has various levels. We could serve in a selfish way. We could serve in an unselfish way. We could serve the body of myself, of others, the mind, the intellect, the egos. But seva is actually service. It comes from the soul and is given to nourish another soul. And of course, the body and mind, the compassion is awakened in a genuine way naturally when we have a true spirit to serve the soul of others. Just a few days ago, I was asked a question, what is the difference between self-love and spiritual love? Was anyone there when that question was asked? It was the group from Italy. In Sanskrit, the word atma refers to the body, refers to the mind, and it refers to the ego. And essentially it refers to the true self, the living force, the soul, which is the person that we are and will always be. So self refers to all of these, Atma. and to love the body of my own self, of another's, the mind through encouragement, kindness, respect, the ego. They are all forms of self-love. But the idea of seva, the idea of bhakti, and actually the idea of true dharma, is love that is inherent within us. The love of the soul. The origin of the love of the soul is the supreme truth, God, we call Krishna, infinite love for all living beings. And because we're a part of Krishna, we're a part of God, that is our most essential quality, to love. The more we feel, experience, and realize God's love, the more we naturally and spontaneously become instruments of that love. And in expressing that love to another, we access more love. So the idea of the bhakti tradition is the more we receive love, the more we can give love. And that type of self-love that includes the body, mind, and soul is the definition of spiritual love. This world is always potentially going to beat us down. There's so many things to be depressed about. And how can a person who really cares about others see what's going around on a worldwide level and even on a smaller level? Everyone's going to die. That's kind of depressing. I'm going to die, and everybody I love is going to die, and everyone in the world is going to die. And it's not too far away from anyone. What to speak of all the selfishness and all the ways people hurt each other, betray each other, the arguments over actually senseless, petty things. When we focus on what's really important in our life, what's really important to the true me, the soul, then all these little petty things that we get upset about and fight about, we see it for what it is. It's a petty thing. But if we don't have a higher consciousness, if we don't value what's actually really important to me and to you, then we see the petty things as very important. We see a grain of sand as a mountain. But the more we become enlightened, we see the grain of sand for what it actually is. It's a grain of sand. And we deal with it. We can't neglect the problems of the world. We can't ignore them. But we do need to perceive them and respond to them in relation to the truth. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells that when you know the truth, you know that all living beings are in me, are of me, and are mine. That means everything is God's property. That means every living being is God's child. And that God, or Krishna, is within my own heart and within the hearts of everyone who's living. Wherever there's the Jivatma, the Paramatma, the ever well-wishing friend, is always present as the silent witness. Silent when we ignore, but actually is speaking in so many ways. Speaking through enlightened people, saints, sages, speaking through scriptures, and actually speaking wisdom through nature. If we just tune in to open our hearts and minds. The Bible tells, seek and you shall find. And that's a universal truth. If we're seeking to find fault in people, definitely you'll find fault in people. Anyone, whether it's God or our best friend. If we're seeking a reason to be evil, there'll be so many reasons to be evil. If we're seeking reasons to be good, they will reveal themselves. If we're seeking that truth that harmonizes the body, my own body, mind, with the soul, seeking those truths and that way of life, that knowledge and that inspiration and these methods by which we could harmonize my own soul, not only with Krishna, but with God in the hearts of others and nature. If we're seeking in that way, actually we could learn a lot just by hearing the birds singing. Can you hear? Actually, we could learn the same message by listening to the tractors roaring and the heavy equipment going. If we're seeking a reason to complain about it. We could actually find enlightenment listening to the honks and horns of big city traffic jams. It's not that easy. But what the mind is seeking, what the mind is actually seeking shelter in. The horns may not be, we may not hear the voice of God in the horns, but we know where to seek. When we hear these distractions, we know I must seek shelter deeper and deeper in my prayer and my awareness. This is what kirtan is in every situation. We could tune in to God's presence and God's grace and God's love. Govardhan Eco-Village is a very simple and humble attempt on behalf of our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, to give this hope and some example and wisdom of how the most valuable thing that the world needs is people who are in harmony with their own spirit. So that we can actually recognize the potential to create harmony in others with nature. The water, the trees, the sky, the animals, the birds, and with every variety of humanity. As we take responsibility to receive deeper quality and quantity of real wisdom and realization, And we feel a responsibility to share that. Because actually whatever's given to us, the origin is coming from the Supreme Truth. This is the basis of the summary of all Vedic knowledge. Janmadya Shalyataha. That everything and everyone is coming from the same origin. Krishna tells in Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam prabhati. That he is the origin. Has many names, has come in many forms, but there is one origin. And when we tune into the grace of Krishna in our life, then we actually become like transmitters. We can transmit that grace through our words, through our skills, but most of all through our example. And this is why Priya Chaitanya and Anmol and Arti and Nimai Leela and Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and Rochan, the staff and whoever else of the Govardhan School of Yoga. Yeah, really? Brenda Leela. Huh? And what's baby's name again?
Leela Gayatri.
Leela Gayatri. She's wonderful. He has baby. I'm so proud of the Govardhan School of Yoga and all of you. Because you're not just teaching a science or a method or a form of knowledge, but you're also embodying the spirit that actually makes that knowledge and those skills truly valuable. Because what is money's value? Whether it's euros or dollars or rupees or rubles or whatever else, pounds. The value actually is dependent on what it's used for. Money's just paper. Nowadays, it's not even paper. It's like digital. But what is the value of it? If we use it for power, for control, if we use it simply to enjoy, then the value is something very temporary and not sustainably enjoyable. But if we use it for something wonderful, to heal people, to enlighten people, to uplift people, to bring joy to people, then that's actually the value of it. And that holds true with our knowledge, whether it's knowledge of science or mathematics or software engineering or Vedic knowledge or Holy Scriptures. If the spirit is not to come closer to God and to be humbled by that experience and to bring actual joy and liberation and love and devotion to others, meaning to people's life, then our knowledge, whether we only know one verse or whether we know hundreds and thousands of verses, the value is not just in the quantity, it's in the quality in which it's given. the quality of how it transforms myself and helps me to transform others. How it could actually bring real, actual peace and love and harmony to the world. What is real success? What is real victory? In this world, it's usually ends up success and victory just makes problems worse. In time to come. So today is New Year's Day. Besides all this philosophical stuff, I wish you Happy New Year. But it's a day that traditionally people look into the past year and years. And what is my situation today? And what is actually valuable for me to devote my life to for the future? When we're grateful for the opportunity to receive God's grace and to share God's grace, we actually become instruments of that grace. And that's where we can find the greatest happiness. And that's where we can transmit and share the greatest happiness. So Govardhan School of Yoga, these teachers, they're really striving and honestly, connecting to this principle. As far as I've seen, they know philosophy really good. And they really know yoga techniques and chakra cleaning and all this. They really know how to do it. They know the authentic science. And they practice it. But they're not just doing it to make a living. We all have to make a living. Because we're living. But making a living is not such a great thing. What is our purpose? Why are we doing? What is the meaning of it? And how it's affecting others? And how it's pleasing the Lord? This is what makes it really special. The world needs leaders who actually care. Not pretending to care to get votes or to get money or to get fame or to get other material benefits, but who actually care. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually for the well-being of others. And when we have that spirit, and then we teach whatever we know. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is such a wonderful teacher. We have with us Ganesham Priya Prabhu, Jay Shetty. He's one of the most wonderful teachers in the world, but really, really deeply from the core of his heart, cares to enlighten and inspire others. The world really needs. And my hope and my prayer that all of you make your life truly beautiful and make other lives truly beautiful by imbibing this spirit. And then learning in every way to be the best you could be for this divine purpose. And I'm so happy Govardhan School of Yoga has chosen to be here at Govardhan Eco Village. Huh?
Other way around. We are so fortunate that somehow just like that pitch and we are the other way around. All fortunate. We are the lucky ones.
I think it's both ways. That's community. Community is we're all appreciating each other and we're all trying to inspire each other to be lucky. Thank you. On this New Year's Day, I pray that grace and mercy and blessing shower upon each of you and your loved ones, and that you are inspired and empowered to do wonderful, wonderful things. Thank you very much.